Hey everyone, so in this video I'm going to be talking about something that's been pretty well known for a while, at least in the Mortal Kombat community. But for those of you who just watch my videos, I really do appreciate it. You might not really know what this video is about, so for those who are unaware, basically it seems as if Mortal Kombat 1, which is the most recent game in the franchise, again, some of you might not really know the game, so that might be confusing because it's called Mortal Kombat 1. But anyways, the game seems to be done, more or less. And there's been this really big discussion, I guess, about whether the game is finished or if there is still more to come. So the reason that this whole conversation was sparked in the first place is because some well-known leakers in the community basically noted that some things were removed from the files that were meant to be there, and basically they said that this was because the last DLC for the game sold really poorly. And basically NetherRealm Studios, which is the studio that makes Mortal Kombat, they're owned by WB, and it seems like WB basically has said just cancel the game, like this DLC sold really poorly, so we're just going to get you to move on to your next game. More or less that seems like that's the case. So a lot of people are claiming that Mortal Kombat 1 is dead. Some people think it's still alive because NetherRealm Studios hasn't actually come out and said, you know, the game is done. And to be fair, they probably can't. There's probably some sort of NDA sort of situation here, which, you know, means that they can't actually come out and say anything. And they still have to finish the Combat Pack 2, which was the last DLC that came out with a story expansion, and it was really expensive, and that's probably why it didn't sell very well. Where I live, the bundle I got, I can't really compare because I got the bundle with the Combat Pack 1 characters and the Combat Pack 2 characters, but that cost me, I believe it was like $90, which is pretty crazy. And I'm pretty sure just for the base thing alone, 6 characters and like I think it was like an hour-long story, was like $50 or something, which is kind of crazy. And that led to poor sales, as well as the fact that it wasn't received all that well. The characters were pretty fun. I still think that the 4 characters that are out so far, all 4 of them are really, really great. But the story wasn't that long. I think it was maybe half the length of the first story in the game. If that, it might have actually been not even half. And it just wasn't a very well told story. So when you hear negative things about a game, you're not really going to feel inclined to purchase it. So I think that definitely was a factor. But the characters so far have been really fun, and we have 2 characters left, one coming in January, and then the next one probably coming in maybe like March or something like that, which those 2 characters are definitely I'd say the least anticipated. Some people are excited for the T-1000, but not many people are excited for the next character, which is Conan. I'm personally not excited for either of them, but I'm sure they'll at least be fun to play. So the actual point of this video is Mortal Kombat 1 dead now, and is it because of Khaos Reigns? So first of all, as I said, it didn't sell very well, and it seems like WB kind of wants to just pull the pin on the game and have NetherRealm start working on their next game, which might be Mortal Kombat, it might be Injustice 3, which for those who are unaware, that's like Mortal Kombat but a DC game, and of course just less violent. They also apparently have been thinking of a new type of game to make that maybe isn't even a fighting game, so that could be interesting to see as well. But I don't personally think Mortal Kombat 1 is dead. If I had to make a guess, I think that there actually will be a Combat Pack 3, and this is more of a speculation. Like, I don't have a definitive answer. I could 100% be wrong. They could come out tomorrow and say the game's done after these 2 characters. Recently, we actually got news that the voice actor for Jade, which is a Mortal Kombat character in MK1, was taken out to lunch by just the developers, people from NetherRealm, which Jade is a character that's been heavily speculated to be in Combat Pack 3. It was sort of weird she wasn't on the base roster, and she was probably the most demanded character for this game that isn't in it yet, and it seems like there is a good chance she will be in the game. When it comes to these leakers, it's important to mention the fact that they said that all future DLC has been cancelled, but then they also released their own Combat Pack 3 predictions based on leaks, and all of them had Jade in them. So it seems like it hasn't been cancelled, because based on when her actor posted this, it seems like it was sort of recent. So why would they take an actor out to lunch just to say, like, you're not going to be in our game, but, thanks for being in the last one. Like, really makes no sense as to why. You could say that they're just being nice, but I mean, it's a studio that's working on a game, so why would you take a previous voice actor that's not in the game out to lunch? Like, just doesn't make any sense. That of course doesn't mean that she will be in Combat Pack 3. You can tell this is unscripted. That doesn't mean she'll be in Combat Pack 3. It doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't even confirm that there will be a Combat Pack 3. She could actually be a cameo character. That's one thing I haven't really discussed, is the cameo characters. People were very surprised when they weren't in the Combat Pack 2 at all. She could just be a cameo, and she could just have like the grunts and the random noises that cameo characters have. No real actual voice lines, I guess, which would be a big waste, yeah. But if I had to cancel the next Combat Pack, any sort of future DLC, then I could see them doing that just to not really make the fans happy, but at least give her to the fans in the game in some way, because people really want her in the game. I personally don't mind if she doesn't make it, but I would love to see her in the game. I think she's always a pretty good inclusion. So Khaos Reigns basically ended in a way that left people very confused, because the end of Mortal Kombat 1 to me was a more definitive end than the one seen in Khaos Reigns, which was supposed to follow up the story in the base game, and it just made people more confused. And for me especially, I have a lot of questions, especially from like the last 5 minutes of the story. Like, what's happened to Noob? Like, he's just been put in a case and he's just been sealed away, but then in his and I think it's Sector's ending, he escapes it, and I'm pretty sure the endings in these games are actually a part of the story. In the previous games, endings were just like a cool little what if situation. In this game, I'm pretty sure they're actually meant to be part of the story, so every ending actually happens after the base story. So has he escaped? Is he still there? The ending with Scorpion and Syrax was incredibly weak. Like, I don't know why I picked those two characters for the final scene. It just doesn't really make sense. I don't know. I don't really like it. But I think that the story just wasn't very good, to be honest. It was fun, but I think the first chapter or two was pretty good, but the rest wasn't very good. It was kind of boring. So it's disappointing to see that there's a good chance that we probably won't get another story to cap off this multiverse stuff, so that hopefully in the next game we can move on to something just simple, like simple Mortal Kombat tournament. Doesn't even have to be a tournament, but just a simple Mortal Kombat storyline, because since MK1 they've been doing this sort of time travel stuff, and it's just getting a bit old, I think, for a lot of people. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think the game is cancelled? Personally, I hope it isn't. I know a lot of people want it to be, but I think that this game has a lot of potential if they just fix some of the issues. It's definitely the worst launched Mortal Kombat game, and it has a lot of issues, but I think if they gave the game just another year and a half, they could really fix it and make it like a top 5 game in the series. So let me know what you guys think. I hope you have a great day, and consider subscribing if you want to see more Mortal Kombat videos. Thanks everyone.